We are on video 2 of 2 for the 24th, is it? Yes, September 24th. Etsy. Okay, this is one of those stickers that I need to roll this week. Or is it? Shoot. Anyway, I do have a credit put spread and it's underwater. Mine is this week, yours is not. For some reason, my credit put spread in my personal account is more aggressive and more in trouble than yours that I recommended at 65. So the one at 65 is still a coin flip. It could still work out. All it needs is a bump from the market. Now, if I have it and it's expiring this week, here are the instructions. You can roll it one more week, which means closing it and reopening it for next week. Same size. I do not increase the size. This is super important. Or if I really don't mind owning the shares, which I might do this week, don't defend it. Take the shares, let them assign them to me at 64 and sell my protective put. So in my case, I sold the 68.65. So the 65 might give me enough profits to break even somewhere around 65. Then I would have lost $1 per contract. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, but the options are close it for a loss, roll it one more week for no cost and see if it works then. Use any strength to get out, or just do the math and see if it works out for me to get assigned and sell my protective put. And that would be risky because then I would have to own shares at the put I sold. And the trade I put out is 65.62, I think, or 65.63. So I get assigned at 65. I break even like at 64 or 3. And if I get it, and if current price when I wake up on Monday is 63.80, I would have lost 80 cents. These are theoretical numbers. I don't have them in front of me, so I will try to put out a video specifically on that one. Okay, so Etsy stock, the company is good, the P&L is decent, the stock cannot stop falling, but it did stop falling during a tough market week. So it did not make a new low, whereas the markets did. And this is a stock that could not stop falling. So that's sign number one that they're out of sellers at this level. Okay, so we'll see. EVGO, I wouldn't touch any EV company right now. Nothing. The only one I would is I would trade Tesla. Period. End of story. Because the guy can fake it until he makes it. Other than that, I don't trust any story about EVs. I'm a skeptic about EV technology being the solution for the future. That we physically don't have enough batteries to fuel an EV world. We don't. We would have landfills, giant landfills, and fires everywhere. They're dangerous, we can't get rid of them, and we cannot make them. We would destroy the planet in order to make them. So something's going to be a blend of something. So I am not a believer in EVGO. Who is this? Is this a company maker of EVGO charging solutions? Okay. If you believe in the company and the P&L looks like it's getting better, the stock price is at a base. This would be a good starting point, but not all in. So if you told me you just bought EVGO as an investment for the future, it's not crazy. It's your thesis versus mine, which is fine. And you do have support from prior fails. So this has been an area to go long this stock for a while. So that's not a crazy investment. It's not mine, but it's not crazy. I wouldn't touch Ford. I did trade it. It was very frustrating. I think their P&L is going to be hell. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to give you an example. Anyway, well, okay. I went shopping for cars with someone. There were 3 dealers next to each other. There was a Ford dealer, there was a GM dealer, and there's a Kia dealer. Went to the GM dealer, nobody in there but us. But the dealership is open, the cars are nice, the people are, they gave you a quote. Got in the car, drove in the same parking lot to the Ford dealer. A guy sitting in a go-kart, we're closed. Sunday, they're closed. Okay, business is awesome, Ford. I got in the car, got across the street to a Kia dealer, packed. They can't even breathe. You can't get people's attention. They're freaking packed. I'm just telling you that these guys need to get with the times. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're not selling cars. I tell you that. Not that day. So I like their cars. I don't think they have a good future on the P&L, especially if they're committed to the EV revolution, because they're going to stop selling the F-150, for example, that makes them all kinds of money, to sell the Lightning F-150, which loses them money. I don't understand. What are they planning? Yeah, so what are they going to do? How are they going to make this P&L still look okay when they actually flip the switch? See what I did there? Lightning, flip switch, electricity. Anyway. Technically speaking, above 12.9, you could get to 13.6. You do have a lot of support. So I think it's done falling. Lose 1160, you might get to 1060, but that's not what's obvious. It's to me, it's easier to break out of the fail of 12.9 than it is to lose the support of 1160. See, I trashed the company future, but I'm fair on the stock. Fortinet, I'm not saying anything crazy. Just think about it. Okay. This is a possibility in Fortinet. So it could be 52.50 or 51 or 50. So don't get too excited about it. However, it does have a lot of strong support. But in order for this support to work, Fortinet needs to be at 63, 64, 65. If it goes above 65, I think this scenario will go away. Use rallies to exit positions, not enter positions in Fortinet. You can enter here based on the support, but have a stop. So you can go long against the support, but say, okay, I'm done if they lose the support. And if you do get rallies, exit, assuming it's going to not work for too long. This GoDaddy, yeah. It's stuck in the middle of its ranges. You buy it into the 70 area, you sell it into the 78. Simple as that. GE, I am short and finally green. Yay! If you've been struggling with it being red, well, after I entered it for a couple of days, it went red. The trade went red. I think this, the reason I keep going back to GE, so I shorted it maybe 4 times. I won 1 time. That made up enough money for the other 4 times. So I can say I haven't shorted it yet, and this is my first short, and it's greenish. I think GE can have a pretty bad time if it loses momentum. This was all momentum on them selling stuff. That's my thesis. And I'm shorting the idea is like, how long can you rally your stock by selling your assets? You know, GE Health and all of that. After a while, they're going to say, okay, so now that we sold off half the company, what's left? Show me what's left and how well it's doing. So maybe they'll surprise us, but I'm shorting that price action. I think we could get it to 100. And if so, then the put I bought will be super profitable. I believe I bought it for November. Anyway, I'm short through an October or a November put. If you have profits from that short idea, if you took it with me, please don't overstay your welcome. Book your profits. I don't hate the company at all. I'm just trying to trade it down. That's it. Speaking of GE Health, right there, this is a place I would get long GE Health, but I don't know enough about it. So if you know enough about it, technically into 61 or 60 is a buying opportunity for GE Health. In fact, I'm going to do this. So if you tell me the fundamentals are good, technically this is a starting point. And it could get to 72 or 71, but it has to find support first. So there is support below scattered, and there's a lot of sellers above. So it could get to 70 plus, but it's a swing trade opportunity. So you need to tell me that the fundamentals are good, and I don't know enough about it. GM, everything I said for Ford works on GM. I went into that same showroom. They had an H1, the electric one, 205,000. I was like, you guys are sniffing glue. That you can sell that thing for 205,000. It's as big as the house. It's huge, and it's EV. It's probably gonna. I just imagine filling it at your house with electricity. It probably brings your bill $300 a month just from that. Whew. That thing was as big as a house. It's beautiful, but it's as big as a house. I immediately thought H2. Like the Hummer 2, the first one, the gas guzzler. That's what I thought. In my head, that's what I saw. $205,000. I almost said, how many did you sell? I bet you none at that dealership. None. Zero. Okay. If you lose 3250, you're probably going to challenge 31 or 32. And if you lose 32, you're going to 31. It's very simple. I did sell a put in GM, and it is... I booked most of it on the way up. I still have 2 contracts at 33. So if I get assigned shares today, I could wake up owning 200 shares of GM. I would be breaking even-ish. So let's say I wake up tomorrow with shares in my account instead of the sold puts. I would just sell the shares, and I would lose no money because I collected 40 cents to open the trade. I forget how much more, actually. So I collected enough to make up the difference between my assignment price and current price. I will close this trade this week. I don't trust it. Alphabet, great company performance. It's been, actually, if you want to see what the market should be doing, you should watch what Alphabet is doing. It's been an honest trader. So on days where we had open, strong early morning days and then we closed down, Alphabet saying, whoa, why are you all rallying? No, you should stay down here because the market's coming down here. And it was telling the truth. So if Alphabet holds 128, then the markets, I bet you, are stabilized. So this is a entry point for Alphabet for temporary. It's not an entry point for an investment for the long term. Like if somebody says, oh, I'm investing in Alphabet for the long term and I'm going all in right here, I would say, what? No. This is not an all-in entry. But this is an excellent company. So if it comes back down to 122-ish, I think it'd be a good entry point. If by some crazy idea it comes down to 110 and 108 or 115, I think it would be a pretty damn good idea to go long Alphabet. I would probably sell puts in size to own the stock. I don't know how much it weighs. It's must probably 7,000 pounds. Somebody asked, hey Google, how much is the H1 electric vehicle weigh?
On the website autoblog.com, they say the colossal truck weighs an astonishing 9,000 pounds.
Whoa! Stop.
How much?
It's 9,000 pounds. That H2. 9,000 pounds. And that's greener than a hybrid car that runs on gas that goes 40 miles a gallon. No frickin' way. I challenge that. 9,000 pounds. Oh my gosh. Eat the brakes like, pancakes. Okay. GoPro. I don't know what to say. It's I don't know what to say. If I'm long, I probably wouldn't get out this low, but I wouldn't touch it. If I wanted to get long, I would get long into this. I traded it and lost money on it, I don't know, 6 months ago. The stop out point came and went pretty quickly. So they still make good equipment, but my thought was it was a buyout opportunity. If everything is going to be self-guided this and self-guided that, companies are going to need eyeballs like cameras, and I thought somebody would buy them because they have pretty damn good small cameras that are WeatherTech. So last time it was under 3 or at 3, it made a bundle. That all by itself is a theory. Go along into that and see if it spikes. Earnings are in about 40 days. I'm pretty sure that's not Halliburton that you want. Hindustan is HL. If you've been with me for a while, you know that that's a funny joke. I wouldn't touch this. I think this one could be at 37, 36. Long shot to 34, 33. I wouldn't touch Halliburton here. Any rally I would exit. I think it drifts lower, much lower. So if I were to say, let's say they do this, I think they do that. They're selling rallies. That's what I think is going to be happening. This is a potential possibility here. But if you know the company, I mean, look at the P&L. It's fairly stable. You can't argue with that too much. So don't short it. I'm trying to get back to where we were. HBQ. I do have are these the laptop people now or the printer people? I can't. Personal computing, yeah. I bought an HP laptop. It's okay. It was on the cheap side, to be honest. It's cheaper than Gateway, you know. Since when? Gateway was trash in the olden days, right? So now HP's niche is that they're cheap. If I go long between here and 25, I think I can make money with the stock as a stock. So if I'm long, I'm okay being long. If I'm looking to get long, yes, but leave room for error, so don't go all in. If you're selling a put or a put spread, I get it. It might have a good bounce in it as a stock. But if we fall into a recession, like as people are saying, oh, depression, recession, then people are not going to be buying laptops or PCs. I'm in the market for a PC. Okay, IBKR, good P&L. You can't argue with that. So it's a matter of finding levels. Arguably, they're going down $4. 86 to 85 is a good entry point. So if I'm long and I haven't gotten out yet, you should know where relief is. They're buying dips inside of an ascending channel. They overtook 87, 89, and that's them testing for footing. So there's support scattered everywhere. Kellogg's, is that a staple company? It's doing better than the rest. Maybe, maybe not. 61 is a problem and a catalyst. So if they take out 61, they can probably get above 62. So it's a problem, but it also will trigger the buyers if they take it out. Okay? So if this plays out, they can take out this level that I just mentioned, 61, and have themselves a little party. Rinse and repeat up here. Okay. All right. Lily, I don't trade it. I recommend you don't trade it. P&L is super good, but the stock trades like it's Tesla. Look at this thing. People can say, oh, I want to short it, I want to short it, I want to short it, I want to short it. And I always said, it's TH. It's too high to chase and too hot to short. So please be careful. If you're short, book your profits quickly. I don't know how much time it'll give you, but it is very tempting to hold the short for a long time because it could be at 500. I don't know. That is an insane stock move. Lam Research, I remember when the stock was $27. If you lose this orange area, and it's not a hard line in the sand, I think this orange area extends to 596, 595. You will be at 540, 520. And if we get up to 660, get out of your longs. Okay? We could bounce. I would get out on any strength because they could do this. And if they do this, they can do this. That's a potential path. It's not a forecast. It's saying the first part could be the bounce is almost guaranteed and the resistance is almost guaranteed is what happens in the circle. The tiny circle I didn't draw right there at 607, 600. Wait, when do they report? Come on. 24 days. Las Vegas. Avoid. Are they part of the people that got hacked? Listen, the whole story is pretty shady as hell. I don't want anything to do with it. $11. I think the target of that Head and Shoulders lost, hack or no hack, is 42. If you want to get involved with it, get at 42. Maybe it becomes attractive. Use rallies to get out. Mara. I'm a Bitcoin trader, so I don't want to trade Mara to trade Bitcoin. Look at this P&L. One cannot understand it, so you have to believe in the company in the long term and the CEO and all of that. You should know that losing 8 is probably going to bring it to 5 or 6. So if I'm long Mara, I'm not adding here. I told you my plan. I haven't added on crypto. Why would I add to Mara? And the problem with that is crypto can hold in a down market, in the stock market, but Mara is a company, so it will fall with the stock market. And if they lose this guy right there, which represents the consolidation area that serves at this base, if they lose 8.4, they'll almost guarantee you 6, if not 5. So if you're the person that chased it up here because other people were talking, woohoo, YOLO Mara, Mara this, and you're probably the person panicking down here, you need to talk to me before you take positions so I can give you a stock chart forecast potentials. Not advice, just I would have told you, totally talked you out of going long up here. Mondelez, decent P&L. I don't understand it. They do have support at 69. If you lose 69, you end up at 66 or 65. Meanwhile, there are a lot of sellers up there, and there's a weakness down here, so there could be a magnet down to here. Whoa. So this is a potential target down here. They're falling into, like, they're selling rallies. Whether this rally makes a new low or not, I don't know. So what if this does this, bounces, does that, finishes the job? Get long in this area. Sellers up there. Okay, today I'm not having luck. Anyway, resistance in that little circle. Medtronic, support below, resistance above, there's nothing to do. If you're looking to get long, fine. You do have a base at 79. I wouldn't add if I'm long. And if I'm long and I get profits, I probably would trade it versus invest in it. Insurance company? I don't know much about insurance companies. This is not an obvious entry point. So it was beautiful, it was hellacious, somewhere in the middle lies the truth. What am I going to do? If I buy calls or shares, I'm assuming we're going to go higher. If I short it, I'm assuming we're going to go lower. It looks like we have a lot of support at 61 and a lot of resistance at 68 to 70. So if you can make money inside those comments, go right ahead. MGM, again, avoid. They were hacked, they lost income. We don't know what's going on. That was an old trade. Technically, this Head and Shoulders, $7. 34.3 is the target of this breakdown from losing 42. Hack or no hack. There are buyers inside these two candles, which are 34-ish. So if I were to be brave and go long, it'll be below 34. MMM. Okay, this is where it bounced before several times. You can make that assumption this time too. What is going on here? Did they buy somebody? Suddenly they're down $5 billion, $7 billion. Look into it. They may have bought somebody. Look into what they're going on, what they're doing. Buy request. We did this trade a while back for June. So you could go long into a dip like we did in June. I don't think it was an easy trade. The fills were not great. 91.90, I guess we filled. Just rallies will be met with a lot of sellers at 103 to 105. Monolithic Power Systems. Okay, I don't know what that is. Not a bad entry point if you have patience. You have buyers into 420. So the closer to 420 of an entry, the better. 422. Sellers at 480. Marathon. Again, energy companies have the lift of a super strong oil price market, and those who are not rallying with that are questionable. So maybe this one is not gas. It says oil, but why isn't it as happy as, say, Chevron? I guess it is. Anyway, I'm not a fan of oil companies. They have all the tailwinds in the world, and they're still stuck because they're stocks. 25.2 support. So if you can live with that and you go long here for the opportunity to break out of 2750, then that's not a bad decision. Depends on the time frame you have. 45 days until the next earnings report. Why are sales dropping when price oil rallying? Their refinery? I don't know. So do your homework, study them. Microsoft. Microsoft is a good company that has no issues on its own. Now, technically, if it loses 312, whatever that bounce was, 311, it could probably go to 290, 292, which would be an outstanding entry point. Look, it would close the stupid rally on the back of NVIDIA. AI this and AI that. The company is fine, but it's not foolproof, you know. If I sold a put and I'm winning, I would close it if I don't want to own shares. This dip here could end at 308 and will bounce. If the market bounces, of course it bounces. So here's the plan. Any strength, I close trades, but not investments. Any big weakness, I would enter investments if I wanted to own shares for the long term and only partial. The P&L is solid. Look at it. Absolutely solid. Look at it. Bulletproof. This is not Microsoft of the olden days. Micron, I'm not a big fan of the company. I think it's overrated, but in the industry, it's respected for what it does. I think it's respected for the product line that it offers more so than the management skills. 65, pretty good solid support. If it goes there, I would enter for a swing trade opportunity. Take out 75. You can go to 85. I think that's unlikely. But 72 could give you enough oomph to take out 75. So don't be overly short. Earnings comments. Oh, we went long on a dip from earnings. Yeah. So maybe we'll repeat it. Let's see here. Shorter term. Sellers into 71. Above 72.5, you're gone. Triggers lower 67.8. It will bring you back to 65, which will be, hey, let me know down there if it gets there. Netflix, I wouldn't touch it. I think it's going to 360, maybe even 340. So it is just trading inside of a long ascending, wide ascending channel of higher lows and higher highs. So pops into 400, I think will be met with sellers, and it will bleed down to 360 or 350. And then it would make for a good entry point. I do have one there. A lot of sellers into 420. I would not chase it if it rallies. Trading, yes. Investing, not for me. By the way, it starts reporting earnings the first one of all the mega caps soon enough. In 3 weeks, it will report earnings. Somebody wanted Nat Gas. You got to tell me the ticker. So Nat Gas is a crazy futures contract to trade. It's stuck in a range like I haven't seen before. Look at this. What is this about? These don't end well. These do not end well. What lawsuit? Echo, I don't know what you're talking about. I missed what ticker you typed at. Look left. I don't think we've had a consolidation zone. Maybe this one. And then crazy rips and dips. So if you're trading the futures, get into the live room to trade the futures. You don't leave these overnight. So I don't think I need to answer you here. Oh, I have no idea what I think they broke up the company so they can sue the other company on MMM. Nike. I'm long Nike that played out well, and I can't remember, $80 puts. Sold a put spread at 80 for January, and I will not defend it. If it falls into 80 and they want to give me shares at 80, I'll take them. This is Nike, for crying out loud. At 80, I'll take it. They report earnings this week, so if you don't want the risk, close it for a partial loss or defend it. So somebody asked, how do you defend the credit put spread out in January? You buy a cheaper one, shorter term, to cover the holy shit moment. That's it. That's what you do. And you can do that with Nike. So if I sold a credit put spread at 80 for January, I can buy a credit put spread for 80 in October. And if this collapses, the one in October explodes in value much faster than the one I own out there. And it doesn't have to be 1-to-1. It can just be partial. Maybe I make it $10 wide and I only do 1/3 of the count that I have. Anyway, every scenario is different. Reach out to me. I'll tell you what I'm doing with mine. ServiceNow, not an obvious entry point, although pretty damn strong behavior there. That's impressive. Buyers into 510. So if it dips lower, it would be an entry for a long, but then it would face sellers. So I think this thing is tradable more so than investable at this stage. Buy dips into 500 plus or minus $10. Sell risk into the 600 and stop out if it goes above 600 because it probably goes an extra 100. NRG, pretty impressive behavior under a tough market. Support at 37 and change. The opportunity to break out is 40 and 40.2. Not going to be easy. So you have to see, do they trigger 37.7 before 40.2? If they hold, let's say they hold here, they don't lose 38 and they come out and challenge this, the bears are in trouble. NU, this is a base. Look, these long tails, those are buyers. So I can assume there are buyers below and that I could get a swing trade from here. This is available. And then a whole bunch of buyers below. So NVIDIA, I wouldn't touch this thing. It's a mystery. This P&L is a mystery. I don't understand. I have never seen in my entire life a transformation this drastic on a leader, like a mega cap. This is like telling me Microsoft doubled its sales and net in 1 quarter. It's just amazing. I've never seen anything like this. So I have many questions. When I have so many questions, I don't do anything. I avoid the whole thing at the risk of missing out. So if this one is rallying, the market is rallying. If this one is falling, it will put downside drag on the market, but it shouldn't cause the whole market to collapse. Sellers into 450 and 60. Why? Because the expectations are huge. They delivered and they raised the expectations. So how long can they maintain that? Don't short it, but be careful as to what you expect from it. From here, this rally is available, and I would make a trade out of it. Not, oh my God, what is going on today? It's like there's a delay. Me double clicking. So this is available. The rally is available. Somebody asked me in the last couple of weeks, I said, maybe I'll do an iron condor on it, and I put the white box. So that would have worked. Plenty of support. You lose the support, you end up at 360. I think NVIDIA needs to be at 370, 380, 360 this year. Just for the chart to make sense. I've never seen a company gap above its all-time high and never come back to it. This was the all-time high. They gapped above it. So there's an area where it has never seen a trade. Nothing, not one tick. I've never seen that before. What are the odds of that staying alive like this? We'll see. Use the next rally to get out and short if you want to try to short that idea. I would sell a call spread, buy a put spread, and see if it curls back down in the next 6 months for it to fill the credit the gap. Then my debit put spread would double my money. NVO, Novartis, Novo Nord, whatever. What is it? Discovery, deployment, marketing, pharmaceuticals. Yikes! Wow, what the heck is that drug? Same gap up of this an all-time high. Okay, so not an obvious entry point until it's below 86 for me. Great trend. Oh, this one does Fat Fighter, so it's a weight loss drug. Hey, pretty popular. Somebody says I have calls on what? Okay. Tesla. Okay. So if somebody has calls on Tesla or any stock, they're down 30%. So first of all, revisit why you took the calls. If the reason's there, then walk away. If you don't have a reason, then walk away. And if you have a reason and it's still there, then you ask yourself, have I hit the maximum amount of money I'm willing to lose? You say you're down 30%. What is your stop loss? Okay, Tesla's coming up later, so watch the chart and you tell me. OTLY, yeah, walk away. I don't know what to tell you. The chart is not going to help you. Decide to invest in the company or not. This chart is broken. Oxy, one of my favorite stocks to short in the olden days. I haven't traded in a while. My beef was how people were saying, oh, Warren Buffett is buying it. We're going to make... they actually called me an idiot because I didn't do math, because I told them not to buy it up here. Every spike. Oh, you idiot. The best investment in the world is buying stock. I was like, no, he isn't. He's buying the company, so enough of the company in order to put it on his P&L. So on his books. He isn't trying to make money off the charts. Anyway. So you can see there's still an ascending channel here that is probably in play. Okay, so let's zoom in on it. I would sell rallies. I don't think they have it. I think it's easier to get to 59 than 69. So I think it's easier to drift lower to here than it is to come up to there. But it could swing back up. And if you're long, I would exit into here. I think there are sellers up here. Anything around 66, I think there's resistance. Okay. I gave you enough comments on Netflix, so revisit the reason why you're long and make sure you stick to your stop loss. Sometimes you stick to your stop loss and the stock curls around and goes in your favor and you go, oh man, I stopped out too soon. But if you had the stop loss, you should be okay with that. Okay, I traded Path. I don't remember how, but I think it expired. So revisit your portfolio. I want to say I sold a $15 put for some reason. I can't remember. I have to look at it. If you have a position in it, let me know. Okay, so it popped and it came back down like I said it would. See that? The path. And it should hold support between here and 15.5, because that was the earnings report violence was down to 15. So let's say they come down to it again. I think they will find buyers. So if I'm long, I'm not exiting. If I'm looking to get long, I would sell puts in the 15-14 to own shares. Maybe I'll put this on my trade. Things to look at this week. Paycom, don't know what they do. Oh, is this the one with the girl from the Shark Tank? Yeah. So last ditch effort in Paycom. Holy moly. Okay. Eek. There's a potential it'd be at 210 if they don't hold this one, if not lower. So be careful on Paycom. I would not add. If I'm long, I would put in place stop levels. Pick a stop level and get out. Pepsi. This company's P&L is fairly simple, but it trades so violently. It's pretty weird. After the last trade I said to myself, I'm no longer going to trade Pepsi. Okay. So let's see here. Bounce or die. If you don't get out from 182, you're risking losing 173.5. If you lose 173.5, I think you're going to 167.5. Maybe even 162.5. A lot of buyers at 167.5. So a strong support here. But it is possible that we're going to be, let's put it this way, it's easier to get to 170 and 169 than it is to get to 182 and 83. That's my opinion. But you do have a bounce coming. Use the bounces to get out of positions. And video 3.